Welcome to this Enterprise Manager 2013 video. We're going to be doing a mass rollout of Adobe Reader. Let's take a typical scenario. We need to roll out a new version of Adobe Reader to our user base. How do we do that? We go into Matrix42's Enterprise Manager, which is an overlay or a reskin of Microsoft SCCM. We hit the mass rollout task and we create a new task. What do we want to do here? Give it a name. And then we're going to select a collection, which is an SCCM collection for the rollout to occur, and a rollout plan, which is the task. So we've got our rollout selection, and we're going to now pick our rollout plan, and we can do quick searches on here. And here's install update Adobe Reader with reboot, which is the one we want. We've got a time period where this task will be available to the users for, and we can either roll out the task invisibly or we can let the user choose when the task will occur on their machine. We can also pre-stage packages ahead of time, or we can roll them out real time. The other thing we can do is we can schedule a certain amount of installations per hour in order to take the load off the network. Once we've activated the task, let's have a look at the end user view. So the end user gets a pop-up reminding him that there's a new task, and he can go in here and see exactly what the task is, and he can schedule when that task occurs or have it done immediately. If he schedules it, he's given times when that task can be executed, and remember the 3 per hour, those tasks will be grayed out if they're already scheduled, if there's too many. He picks his time slot, and then that execution will occur at that time. How does the administrator know how his rollout's progressing? At any time he can go into his task and he can look at the status of it. The status can either be red, green, amber, or he can look down to specific computers, specific details, and go right into this machine's got it scheduled at this time and therefore it hasn't executed yet. The user also has the ability to go back into his task list and to allow it to occur immediately, so he can override or reschedule his own tasks. If he selects immediately, Matrix42 has several capabilities under the covers to do things like prerequisite checking and order checking. So in this particular case, whether it was auto-executed or whether the user scheduled it himself, he has the ability to be shown any prerequisites that are not yet in place. So in this case, Adobe Reader and Explorer are still open. Now the user can shut those applications himself, or you can see here that there will be an automatic shutdown of those applications after a predetermined amount of time, in the scenario where the user's not at his desk when the installation occurs. At any time, the user can click into a task to see what exactly is happening, and we can control exactly what text he sees in order for him to feel confident and knowledgeable about the process that's happening. At any time, the administrator can go into the execution and see where it's got to. Green ticks, red X is not executed yet, and the cog means this is the one that's happening. So we get an update overview and a detailed overview in pretty much real time. And that's the SCCM agent that's helping us pass this information back. At the end of this task, the user gets a reboot notification, and we can schedule both when the reboot will happen automatically and let the user check and pick a particular time for when he'd like it to occur. Again, once the reboot has completed, the task will then be marked as complete, and so this then allows us to send some further logging back to Enterprise Manager in order to let the administrator know exactly where his task has got to. So we click the update and we can see that's moved to finished. And that completes our Matrix42 Enterprise Manager video of a mass rollout of Adobe Reader.